Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. My name is Katelyn from Florals.com, and as you can tell we have a Disney layout today. This is actually one that I filmed at the end of April but has rolled over into May, so I hope you guys don't mind a little bit more from my How to Kill a Kit with Style for April and my Project Focus from April, which was my Disney Cruise album. So I do have two Disney photos today. This is when we met Pirate Minnie and Pirate Daisy, and they were in the atrium the evening of Pirate Night, if you guys are familiar with Disney Cruise Line. And I decided to cut these both down to 4x4 so they fit nicely on an 8.5 by 11. Now this background paper is from the Feelin' Naughty paper pad from Craftsmith, which I don't think is any longer available, but if I can find it online, I'll have it linked down below in case you guys are interested in looking through all the patterns or purchasing one for your own stash. But I also have pulled out some really fun pirate themed ephemera, which is something I never thought I'd buy, but you know, here we are with our pirate themed ephemera and I'm using it, so all good things happening. And I've pulled out two tags so far from that ephemera kit that I know I wanted to use, the anchor and then one little pirate that says "Shiver Me Timbers," because that is just an iconic pirate saying. Next up, I start looking at washi tape options, 6x6 paper options, and to be honest, I don't think I really use much out of my kit from April. I think this is mostly just things I've pulled together. I pull out the Work Hard, Play Hard paper pad from Cartabella, and I also pull out this stripe, which is from Crate Paper's Cool Kid. So really mixing and matching here, but I really wanted the vertical stripe or diagonal. Vertical is the only one I could find, but I just want to put a little border on the bottom here with black and white, because black and white are very piratey colors thanks to the pirate flag, thanks to a lot of different pirate movies. And the only way I could achieve this, since I didn't have black and white striped washi tape that was thick enough, I used very little border strips here, and since I only had a 6x6, I did have to overlap them, but it does read as one as long as you line up the pattern correctly, so that ended up working well in my favor. So now I need to decide how I want my placement of my photos. Do I want them together or on the corners like they are now? I pull out some doilies to experiment. Do I want doilies on a pirate layout? I'm not too sure, but I opt to go for the stacked together look, and this is definitely one of my go-tos. I think it's really fun to have that kind of, the embellishments are really the driving force behind the theme of this, you know, besides the photos. So I want to make sure that there's a lot of room for the embellishments to speak and, you know, really just help drive home the theme of this layout. So I pick out a almost plain colored pattern here from the Work Hard, Play Hard 6x6. It's like a tire track pattern, but it's really subtle tone on tone. And that helps bring out the reds that are in the characters' outfits, which are really adorable. I don't know if you can meet Pirate Minnie and Pirate Daisy anywhere else. Maybe during Halloween time you can meet them. I'm not sure at the parks. But then I go back into the Crate paper pad and grab these fun different pattern papers. Now it's interesting because I adore black and white patterns. I think they can be so useful and have such a great effect because they are so bold and heavy contrast. And I do go back and grab that striped paper as well and put a border of that around my daisy photo. Now, if you're doing striped papers, you want to make sure that the orientations are generally the same. So here I make sure that the pattern again is running up and down instead of left to right, for example. So I'm going to stack these together. One does have a little bit more white space than the other, so that is the one I'm stacking on top of, which happens to be Minnie Mouse, but she's my fave girl. If you guys have not met Minnie Mouse, she's the best one. She's very nice and she's very fun. So I'm going to sort of stack out my die cuts where I think I want them, and you'll notice that I pulled in a few more there at the top to create another cluster. But my title essentially will be X Marks the Spot, and originally when I started planning this page I actually called it Pirate Crew, but I opted not to use stickers or anything when I had all these great pirate themed ephemeras. And I've talked about this before, but if you have themed products that are super themed, like these pirate ones, I highly recommend you really pile them onto your layouts. I don't think there's necessarily a reason for me to personally bring in other things that I don't need to, when I can let the things that speak to the theme a bit more, you know, tell the story, which is what I opt to do most of the time when I have themed products, whether that's Christmas or whether it's Halloween or pirate. Pirate's definitely one of the most specific I've ever had, and I did purposely buy it for these specific photos and for the other very few pirate things we have done. But I did want to say I do have a couple more Disney layouts to share from my April Disney focus. So if you guys are interested in seeing those and want to keep seeing Disney layouts, please leave me a comment down below. I will also have my Designing Disney playlist linked down below so you guys can watch all the Disney layouts I've ever made that are here on YouTube. In case you're trying to get some real good Disney inspiration going, you can check it out there. But now that everything's glued down, I decided to add more texture to my layout. And this was actually an idea from one of my patrons. Her name is Daisy. She was talking about on the first pirate layout that I did, which was a Patreon exclusive. You guys can check out Patreon, link down below. And she said, I thought you were going to end up adding rope or something to give that nautical vibe as well. And I thought about it, and when they started doing this layout after the first pirate layout, I thought, okay, do I have anything in my stash that'll work for it? And I did find this spare scrap piece of twine burlap. I have no idea what this is. I think it's just normal twine because it's got that rustic brown look, and just wrap it around gently around my layouts and around, just so it looks natural of some sort. It doesn't really look natural on the left hand side, but I really like the idea of possibly creating a cluster in the bottom right for my journaling, and that's kind of what I'm looking for right now. Or just putting somewhere for my journaling. Well, I thought originally I was going to do journaling strips, type it up, cut it out, paste the strips on there. I end up wanting to find something else. So as I dig through my spares bin, I find this date piece, which is not in a great match blue. It kind of matches the blue in the photos, but I believe this is from Chatterbox, which is like decades old, but I did use that, and this Vicky Bouton notepad paper sort of rip-off piece with blue watercolor on it. They just ended up working really well despite not having, super semblance of being matchy-matchy, and that's okay. And to tie it all together, I end up finishing off this enamel dots sheet, which again, I showed you guys in April. And this red didn't really match, but it does match the photo colors a bit more than it matches the layout colors. But that is it for this layout. Let me know what you guys think of another 8.5 by 11 and seeing more Disney. Here are the close-ups. Again, it's quite simple. The die cuts help speak to the variety or the theme of this layout, and I think the rope added a lot, so thank you, Daisy, for that suggestion. And I really love how it turned out. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more. But I will talk to you guys again very, very soon. Bye, guys.